Hey everyone. So I was chatting earlier about how Ethereum's been absolutely crushing it with those ETF inflows, even outpacing Bitcoin. And here's what I really want you to focus on, whether you're holding XRP, HBAR, or whatever altcoin catches your eye. Ethereum is getting seriously strong right now. I know some of you keep wondering, Nick, why are you always talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Well, here's the thing. These giants are creating massive liquidity pools that eventually trickle down into altcoins, and that's where we could see some incredible gains. Now, let me tell you about Tom Lee and why his insights could be a game changer for our portfolios. Check this out. Spot Ether. ETFs have been absolutely dominating Bitcoin for 6 days straight, pulling in almost $2.4 billion compared to Bitcoin's $287 million. BlackRock's ETHA is really leading this charge. It's pretty obvious that institutions have their eyes on Ethereum right now. And honestly, it makes total sense. From a marketing perspective, Ethereum's got way more upside potential than Bitcoin at this point. Think about it. Bitcoin has already made this incredible run from its 2021 peak. Meanwhile, Ethereum hasn't even come close to matching its 2021 highs. It's still working on breaking through those 2024 resistance levels. So here's where it gets really interesting for these big institutional players. They're basically playing this smart game of, what if we create massive demand for Ethereum? And when you think about it, it's genius. Ethereum hasn't even hit its 2021 all-time highs yet, or entered that price discovery phase like Bitcoin did. That's exactly why we're seeing this huge spotlight on Ethereum right now. It's positioned to make this massive catch-up run to Bitcoin levels, and these institutions know they're going to rake in serious revenue just from the fees alone. This is why they're going all out marketing Ethereum so heavily. But here's the exciting part for us. This is going to create an absolutely massive wave of liquidity that's going to flow through the entire crypto space. We'll dive deeper into that in just a second. But first, let me show you this incredible post from Ryan Sean Adams because get this. Tom Lee just said he wants to buy 5% of all Ethereum. And get this, after just 1 month, he's already 10% of the way to that goal. To put this in perspective, 5% of all Ethereum, we're talking about roughly 6 million ETH, which is worth around $22 billion at today's prices. For comparison, Michael Saylor owns about 2.9% of Bitcoin's total supply. So Tom Lee is literally planning to own almost double what Saylor has in Bitcoin, but as a percentage of Ethereum's network supply. Here's what's happening right now. Bitmine Immersion Technologies, which is Tom Lee's Ethereum treasury company, is sitting on a massive 560,000 Ethereum. We're talking over $2 billion worth of ETH just sitting in their treasury. And here's the kicker. He's been ramping up his buying like crazy. This aggressive accumulation is creating this incredible surge in Ethereum's price. And it's also a huge reason why those Ethereum ETFs are completely outperforming Bitcoin right now. Now let's dive into these market phases, because this is where things get really exciting. If we just wrapped up phase 1 and we're kicking off phase 2, all of this demand we're seeing is absolutely crucial. Right now, we're witnessing this massive Ethereum demand surge. But here's what I'm really watching for. When that liquidity starts flowing from Ethereum into large cap altcoins and the broader market, that's when the altcoin party really begins. And here's the timing that's got me pumped. Altcoins still haven't gotten their ETF approvals yet. I'm thinking we'll start hearing those ETF approval conversations heating up again in the next month or two, right, while Ethereum is going completely bonkers. So we're officially in phase 2 now. Liquidity is exploding, and Tom Lee, this guy is showing absolutely zero signs of hitting the brakes. He's actually planning to speed up his Ethereum buying even more. Let me break down his master plan for you. He wants that 5% of all Ethereum, and when you crunch the numbers, it's mind-blowing. Right now, with his 560,000 ETH, he still needs to scoop up over 5.4 million more Ethereum to hit his target. Think about what that means. We're talking about insane buying pressure that's going to keep pushing Ethereum higher just from Tom Lee's purchases alone. You should also consider the ETF angle here. There's actually a fascinating video where Tom Lee explains their approach to Ethereum and shares why he's so determined to become the biggest Ethereum holder, aiming for over 5% of the entire network. What's really exciting is how bullish Wall Street has become about Ethereum. They're approaching it with completely different strategies and valuations now. Get this, They've actually become the largest Ethereum holder today, holding even more than the Ethereum Foundation itself. This insight comes straight from Tom Lee in the Cube, so definitely worth paying attention to.
What's behind? What needs to catch up? Where's the work? Where's the saw sharpening moment here? I'm good. I had a chat GP moment stablecoin, but now there's a lot of, you got to sharpen the saw and cut the wood a little bit here, chop some wood, carry the water. There's a lot of blocking and tackling that's got to get done from these old. What are the sequence of events to get this thing 100% planing out beautifully?
Well, we don't have enough time.
Give me the top three.
Well, because, we have to fix plumbing and regulatory boundaries and definitions, like what's an asset, what's a commodity. These are not clear definitions, but I think probably the simplest thing that your viewer has to think about is geography. That Ethereum is the same blockchain in any country, but we're treating it with different rules and with a different quotation. Stablecoins are helping change that, but it's very complex. So I
think it's a huge issue.
Yeah, so I think that regulators don't have an easy job. And if I can help, I will. And if I could help with policy, I'd be glad to. We're going to be we are the largest holder of Ethereum today, more than the Ethereum Foundation. Because we have over $2 billion of Ethereum. So we want to make sure everything works.
It's a big bet.
Yeah.
What are you most excited about on this bet? Because obviously, besides the net income, which is phenomenal, by the way, congratulations on that. What are you excited about as you see this developing out further? What's the macro conditions look like?
Oh, well, there's a lot of innovation that comes with crypto. I think that you have to think about crypto as it's Wall Street going onto the blockchain, but then it's AI making the digital world more acceptable. So crypto is the intersection of Wall Street and AI. So it's a really important place to be for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. Someone quoted here on my show saying, hey, financial energy, because I was, actually riffing on the energy bounded behind Bitcoin, obviously NVIDIA and all these guys. AI is bounded by energy. So is crypto energy. So, but the financial energy is the money piece. What do you see that when you look at sovereignty and borderless transactions? Because that's the beautiful thing about the global economy, is that so you have borderless opportunities.
Well, I mean, the reality is that what you just described is going to create winners and losers globally, because the U.S. is going to get stronger. This is actually a dollarization story as well.
On the stable coins, what's your view on? Do we need to have? Is there going to be a zillion stable coins? Is it going to be a power law? Is it going to be specialty coins? I mean, I heard JP Morgan's been testing it, JP Morgan Chase. I heard Fidelity.
There's been a lot. There were stable coins, there were stable coins.
What has to happen? Is it okay to have a multitude of stable coins, or will there be?
As long as people are backing their reserves, there's no risk. And I think that's what the model is.
That's the key factor of the risk backing.
Yeah, I mean, example is, you probably don't realize, have you been to Bermuda?
Yeah.
Okay, and you use Bermudian dollars, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
a stable coin, because the central bank does not guarantee that rate.
Really?
There is nothing backing a Bermudian dollar, but it's still equal to a dollar.
So we are already kind of living it.
So Circle is more secure than a Bermudian dollar. I'm not trying to offend Bermuda, but
okay. It's good to pick on it. Small island, still nice there. Okay, so Circle's prospects. Do you feel good about that IPO?
Yeah, Jeremy Allaire's great. Kathy Wood's the anchor. She's done really well with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's on your plan? What's your focus right now? What are you working on? What are you optimizing for right now?
Well, we have a lot of plans for BitMine that I can't share because, of course, it's material, non-public information. But at Fundstrat, we've been really chopping wood and really investing in this space for a long time, and now clients are coming to us and asking what's really happening.
Awesome. And for the financial folks watching, we know that they're all looking at changing some of the plumbing. What's their opportunity? What would you advise them?
Well, I think many banks are going to come out ahead.
So here's the thing. When you look at what they're planning with this Ethereum treasury company, they're basically going all in on Ethereum. That's going to create massive demand, which is huge news. But here's where it gets really interesting for XRP and altcoin holders. This could make you incredibly wealthy, and it all comes down to liquidity flows. Think about it this way. We're already seeing the focus gradually shift from Bitcoin to Ethereum to other large cap coins. It's happening right under our noses. Right now, we've only got Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs available. So what's coming next? You guessed it, ETFs for altcoins. and XRP is sitting pretty at the top of that list, along with HBAR and Solana. Let me take you back to 2017 for a second. Big thanks to Smoke Dog for this insight. XRP actually outperformed both Bitcoin and Ethereum that year, and we've got the numbers to prove it, documented 3 separate times. Check out these major crypto price movements from 2017 through 2018. Bitcoin saw a 14x increase in 2017, while Ethereum exploded with a 100x increase that same year. But get this, XRP absolutely crushed it with a mind-blowing 350x increase in 2017. Looking at the data for the world's 3 biggest cryptocurrencies by market cap, XRP completely dominated both Bitcoin and Ethereum in terms of percentage price gains. And here's another eye-opening stat. XRP's incredible run in 2017 was actually 24 times steeper than Bitcoin's rise during that same period. It literally left both of them in the dust. Now here's where things get really exciting. Think about everything happening in the crypto space right now. We've got massive institutional adoption picking up steam, big banks finally jumping on board, the stablecoin market absolutely booming, and tokenization taking off like crazy. And guess what? XRP is positioned right at the center of almost all these major trends. That's exactly why I keep telling people, sure, Ethereum is having its moment in the spotlight right now, but this is just how these market cycles work. Ethereum and XRP have been trading places back and forth for years now. I always think back to 2017 to 2018, and even before that, when XRP was absolutely crushing it, outpacing Ethereum and seriously challenging Bitcoin's market dominance. XRP actually got incredibly close to flipping Bitcoin at one point. There are some wild screenshots from when XRP briefly held that top spot, and honestly, I think we could see something similar happen again this cycle. When you look at XRP versus Ethereum specifically, we've already seen some solid gains against ETH. Right now, we're kind of stuck in this sideways action, just waiting for that next big explosive move upward. But here's the thing. If we really see XRP break out above these previous highs and keep pushing higher, it could show some serious strength against Ethereum. Why? Because XRP never actually got its proper cycle after 2017 to 2018. We got completely derailed in 2021. It was honestly a terrible cycle for XRP. In my view, it felt like a coordinated attack because XRP poses such a real threat to both Ethereum and Bitcoin's dominance. Even today, XRP is still viewed as an incredibly powerful cryptocurrency that could genuinely challenge both Ethereum and Bitcoin's positions. When I look at XRP dominance charts, it's been making some impressive moves on the 3-week time frame. We're just waiting for it to really push through and close above some key resistance levels. What I'm really watching for is a clean break above 5.42% on the 3-week chart, and more importantly, actually closing above that level. This resistance goes all the way back to October 2019, so breaking through would be huge. If we can get past that, the next major targets would be around 6% to 8% dominance, and then we're looking at some seriously exciting territory, potentially 11% to 14% plus in XRP dominance alone. That kind of move could absolutely happen once we see that capital rotation really kick into gear. We've witnessed this pattern before, and I don't think this cycle will be any different. Here's my take. Tom Lee's aggressive Ethereum strategy is going to drive ETH prices sky high, which will naturally lead to profit taking. And where do you think all that money is going to flow? Straight into other altcoins, with XRP being a prime beneficiary. This pattern plays out every single cycle. We see these massive buy-ups hitting the large caps first, then the mid caps, and finally trickling down to the smaller projects. That's exactly what kicks off alt season and creates those incredible surges we see across the entire market. And here's the best part. This is what's going to make so many altcoin and XRP holders seriously wealthy. Tom Lee might be the big name driving all this Ethereum buying pressure right now, but he's not alone. Institutional players are piling in left and right. Just look at the ETF inflow numbers. They're absolutely incredible for Ethereum right now. These flows are basically flashing a giant warning sign, telling us exactly what's coming for the broader altcoin market. So there you have it. I really hope you found this breakdown helpful and got some valuable insights. If you enjoyed this content, definitely smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our free analysis and updates. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.